afternoon. Trey, when you went back and watched the tape of Sunday, what did you see?
Real similar to what I said. I think right after the game, I missed a few early, and I mean whoever was ahead going into a 2-minute drive in that fourth quarter, it was going to be a tough situation for whoever was in that situation. So for me, for us, made too many mistakes early. I missed too many early, but yeah, we'll turn the page on that.
You're very specific with your criticisms of yourself, which is somewhat unusual. Quarterbacks usually say, I missed a couple plays all have that. You're reporting to me that plays. Where does that come from? I mean, just as far as, I assume you want to be accountable as a leader and all that?
I mean, I'm the only one that touches the ball other than the center every single play. So it's my decision most of the time where the ball goes, how it gets there, things like that, pre-snap, getting us in the right play, getting us in the right call, whether it's run game, pass game, protections, whatever it may be. So I make most of the decisions other than the play call with Kyle. So at the end of the day, I mean, I see it as there was always pretty much a better answer. If I don't, incomplete pass, whatever, there was always, for me going back and watching the tape, there's always an option or always a better answer, unless we do make an explosive and I do make the right play. But ball placement, little things like that could have got us, to 3rd and 2 versus 3rd and 4, little things like that. But yeah, going back and watch the tape, whether it's practice or a game, I feel like that's, like I said, where I learned so much every single rep. Because little things like that can make all the difference, in the long run, especially in a game like that.
But if you ever had a coach or dad came in there, say you're the quarterback, you're accountable, don't make excuses.
Nah, it's kind of common sense. Like I said, I touch the ball every single play, so what I do with it makes all the difference, short term and long term in the game.
This might be kind of an obvious question, but what's been the biggest change you've had to make as a runner of the football from college level to the NFL level?
And I'm not bigger, faster, and stronger than pretty much everyone else. Guys catch up a lot quicker. Guys, space is filled. Guys close a lot faster. And gotta learn to protect myself. Just being in a different situation, knowing how important it is for me to stay healthy.
Have you had any moments where you're like, oh wow, they really are fast? Like in the Texans game last year, I feel like there were a couple times where the safeties got there quick.
Yeah, guys coming downhill, guys don't hesitate. That's definitely one of the biggest things for me, especially running laterally. I gotta be able to protect myself.
How do you feel you're doing in that area in terms of protecting yourself?
Continuing to grow. There's always going to be, like I said, man, a million times, there's always going to be better decisions I can make. But on Sunday, I felt like I protected myself pretty well. Felt good for the most part. Maybe a couple I could have got down one step faster, or slashing, finding an edge and getting down. But for the most part, when I'm running between tackles and stuff like that, or running on 3rd down, I'm not ever going to slide and go 4th and 2 and just give up on the play and send our defense on the field if it's a situation like that.
Trey, what's your assessment of what the Seahawks did defensively in their first game?
And they play fast, a little bit different schematically, but stout interior D line, linebackers play fast, and Diggs is still one of the best safeties in the game.
I was going to ask you, there was a lot of instances where you were really close to the first down line. Oftentimes you ran into Mark Smith. But Kyle says you have to be a football player. And so you're talking about 3rd and 8, and you've got 7 yards in practice on. That just makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
With Jordan Mason and tight A's Bryce, Kyle said that the Nappies were all really fast. How have you seen them progress within the training camp so now?
Yeah, they've grown up a lot, really fast, off the field specifically, just how they take care of their bodies. Todd around a lot, and JP just getting to know him still more and more every day. But the way those guys have matured, I've just seen off the field, honestly. They've always came to work in meetings and everything, locked in, taking notes, whatever it may be, asking questions. But off the field, those guys have learned definitely to be pros, and from Elijah and Jeff and Juice and all the guys they've had, in and out of the room since OTAs, they've learned a lot from those guys.
Trey, how much does it help you when George Kittle's on the field in your huddle and the vibe he brings both on the field and on the sidelines?
Yeah, totally. High energy guy. He's still around, obviously in the building and stuff, but hopefully getting him back this week. Everyone can see what he does with the ball in his hands. People don't always see what he does in the run game, and just from an energy standpoint, for sure. So it'll be great to get him back if we can get him back this week.
The last game was weird because it was in adverse conditions, but Ayuk only 3 touches. How big of an emphasis is it for you to just get him more involved?
It's kind of what the defense dictates, what the concepts dictate. He made a couple big plays, and he's had a great training camp. So man, still all the trust in the world. It definitely wasn't anything like that. I know you guys freak out when BA only has you especially when BA only has a certain amount of touches. But it's definitely not like we're going to a game being like, okay, we're gonna give Debo the ball 8 times plus or whatever it may be. You know, Debo's obviously gonna get more touches because he's in the run game. But yeah, BA for sure. I mean, he's a huge weapon for us. He's done a great job, and that'll start to show up more and more. Promise.
Did you know that pass to Ray McLeod was going to be such a tight fit, and did you learn anything from that play?
Yeah, I thought going back and watching the tape, I could have thrown out 1 hitch instead of 2, which would have made it look a lot easier. But yeah, man, he made a great catch. It's the same throw I threw to BA, another high cross on the first drive. But Ray's done a great job, man, just being able to trust those guys, how consistent they've been in their routes, getting to their spots, their landmarks, setting their angles, everything like that makes it easier for me.
Did you have to pull extra zip on that pass then?
It was actually more of a layered ball, and the ball was a little heavy at that point, but it wasn't too bad, man. Like I said, it was one of those throws that we made that I needed to make more of in the first half.
We see you attempt some of the screens to Debo, and we say, oh, that's an easy throw, that's a layup. Is it easy like that, and are there nuances there that the layman isn't seeing, and why isn't that automatic all the time for you?
Yeah, I mean, we talked about it, again, not using the weather as an excuse, but in the weather, in that situation, like catch and throw, are some of the hardest throws with those balls, just because you don't know what the ball is going to be like. You know, when you take a 7-step drop or a 5-step drop, you can kind of feel the ball, spin the ball, you know, find a dry spot or find a spot where it's not, you know, a disaster. But yeah, there were some ugly ones out there on Sunday for sure. And I'm not blaming on the ball, just continue to work it, be more consistent. But hopefully we're not playing in too many games in those conditions like they were in the fourth quarter.
What was it inconsistent? Like you would get a different ball in terms of wetness each time you took the snap?
Yeah, you know, we run a play, guy catches the ball, drops it in the puddle, which we've talked about a few times if you're ever playing that game again, in a situation like that again. But yeah, I mean, they're rotating balls in and out, and our equipment staff does a great job getting us the driest balls we possibly can with those 12-game balls that we get.
Did you ever try throwing with a glove in your hand?
Last year I did a few times, yeah, but I didn't this week. Didn't wrap it at all. Didn't think it would get to that point. But I don't know if honestly if the glove would save me at all.
You may have a rain game this Sunday, so
Yeah,
does that
no
mean you practice getting water balls squirted on it?
We'll see. Yeah, later on in the week, for sure we'll throw wet balls later in the week, but not something that we're a whole lot worried about. I thought the first half we had every opportunity in the world, but if we get in that, like I said, that fourth quarter situation is a little different.
Trey, does being at home provide a comfort level, or does it add more stress as you guys kind of turn the page from week 1 and try to have a bounce back performance?
Neither. I mean, I just turned the page on last week. This week we're locked in, whatever it is. Obviously, travel is really the only thing. Our schedule changes a little bit with travel, but from a mental standpoint, preparation standpoint, everything's the same. Just what room I do my stuff in.
After the game, that you feel great physically. How do you feel Monday morning?
Monday morning? Oh yeah, I felt fine. My neck honestly was a little sore. That was the first thing because you know I don't get hit at all throughout the year. So guys kind of get to build up, get their necks ready for the season. But my neck was the biggest thing. But other than that, yeah, I feel good.
All right, appreciate it, guys.